Hello everyone, welcome back to your own history learning channel, that is Our Past by Priya Jha. In today's video, we are going to learn about a very important topic in the modern Indian history, that is Brahma Samaj, which was established by Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Friends, we all have heard about this great personality while we studied in our schools, then in our colleges, or at various stages of our studies. So, today we will continue with this topic. So, let's get started. Well, friends, we all know that various socio-cultural reform movements took place in India during the 19th century and 20th century. What was the need of the socio-cultural reform movements and what sections of the society were affected by these movements have already been covered by me in a separate video. If you wish, you can watch the video. I'll provide you the link in the description box. So for now, let's continue the topic Brahma Samaj, which was established by Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Now, what was Brahma Samaj? Who was Raja Ram Mohan Roy? Let's see. Well, friends, various reform movements that took place took place among the Hindus. Then there were reform movements which took place among Muslims, then among Parsis and among Sikhs, like this very famous Brahma Samaj which was established, then Tattva Bodhini Sabha, then you all must have heard about Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, then Jyotiba Phule, then the movements at all India level like Ramakrishna movement, then Swami Vivekanand, then the movements which took place among the Muslim, that were Waliullah or Wahhabi movement, then Deoband movement, then many movements took place among the Parsis and movements also took place among the Sikhs like Akhali movement and so on. So various reform movements took place. If I will cover all the movements in this video, then the video will be too long. So here I have covered. Today we will learn about Brahma Samaj in this video. But if you want me to make video on any such topic related to this socio-cultural reform movements, you all are requested to comment in the comment section below. So friends, reform movements among Hindus in Bengal, as we studied that reform movements took place among the Hindus, then Muslims, then among the Parsis and the Sikhs. So among the Hindus, the reform movements which took place in Bengal were the first one which we are going to discuss today, Brahma Samaj, which was established by Raja Ram Mohan Roy. The next was Debendranath Tagore and his Tattva Bodhini Sabha. Then Keshav Chandra Sen's Brahma Samaj of India. Then Prarthana Samaj and Derozio and Young Bengal movement. Then Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. So these are reformist and reform movements which took place especially in Bengal. So today our focus is upon Raja Ram Mohan Roy and Brahma Samaj. So friends, who was Raja Ram Mohan Roy and what was Brahma Samaj? Friends, Raja Ram Mohan Roy, he is known as the father of Indian Renaissance and maker of modern India. A great person who was full of knowledge. He had exposure to many foreign countries, the setup there. Then he worked in order to remove the social evils present in the country at that time. His approach was modern scientific approach and he believed in the school of equality, and monotheism. What is monotheism? When single god or single power is worshipped instead of the practice of polytheism, which is completely opposite of this practice. Like in Hinduism, we know that the practice of polytheism is carried out, many gods are worshipped at the same time. So this great man Raja Ram Mohan Roy was of favor of monotheism. Then he believed in equality and rational approach. In the year 1814, we here can see that he was born in the year 1772, and in the year 1814 he set up the Atmiya Sabha. Who are Atmiya? Atmiya means the near ones or friends. So Atmiya Sabha in Calcutta to propagate monotheistic ideals of the Vedanta and to campaign against various social ills. What social ills were present at that time, friends? The social ills that were present at that time were the most barbaric ones, like sati pratha, then polygamy, child marriage, then miserable state of women and lower caste people, and many such things. So he campaigned against these various social evils, and he promoted or propagated monotheistic ideals which he thought and which he favored that Vedantas were based on the monotheism. So friends, Raja Ram Mohan Roy and Brahma Samaj is a kind of topic which must be studied in detail. Here I have tried to incorporate all the important facts. So in the month of August 1828, he founded the Brahma Sabha, and it was later renamed as Brahma Samaj. So what was the earlier name of Brahma Samaj? It was Brahma Sabha. It was found in the year 1828, and later on it was named as Brahma Samaj. What was its agenda? Its agenda was purification of the Hinduism, because he found, and it was found, reformist found that Hinduism was packed with social evils and superstitions and prejudices. So purification of Hinduism and to preach monotheism, that is worshipping single god or single power. Then opposition to idolatry. Idolatry means worshipping idol or a symbol of anything. So in his samaj or in his sabhas, this worship or worshipping of idols or symbols were not allowed. So he criticized social evils like sati pratha and others. Well, he faced opposition from the orthodox elements like Raja Radhakant Dev, who organized the Dharma Sabha. So it is also a kind of reform movement. So his views, his modern views, which were far ahead of those times, also faced criticism by some orthodox elements. And in the year 1833 he died, and his death, so the death of Raja Ram Mohan Roy, it was a major setback to the Samaj mission. But the Samaj mission was continued by other people. So let's study about them also. Friends, let's first take into consideration the points that what social reforms were carried out by Raja Ram Mohan Roy and his Brahma Samaj. My friends, in the year 1818, he started the struggle against the sati system or sati pratha. He cited sacred texts to prove that no religion sanctioned it. No religion sanctioned the system like sati, and he visited cremation grounds. He organized vigilance groups and filed counter petitions against these practices. So he was so much involved in removing the social evils like such. In because of his efforts, in the year 1829, the government of Bengal declared it a crime. He attacked polygamy, that is, multiple marriages, then degraded state of widows because the sati pratha was there, and in case the widows were left alive, they led a life full of misery. So there was no point in leading or living a life full of no dignity, no respect, or no freedom. Then he demanded the right of inheritance and property for the women. So by that time, women were not allowed share or were not provided share in property or any right of inheritance. He did much to disseminate the modern education to his countrymen because he knew that unless or until the education will be provided, the educated citizens will be there, it won't be possible in a country or in a state where all the citizens will be illiterate. They won't have wider perspective, they won't have a thinking of the fact that the society has been trapped by various social evils and those need to be removed. He supported David Hare's efforts to establish Hindu College in the year 1817. So with that tremendous effort, Hindu College was established in the year 1817, and he in the year 1825 he established Vedanta College. So we can clearly see his efforts and the efforts he made in the field of education, then removing the social evils from the society. He was a gifted linguist. He knew more than 12 languages like French, then English, then Sanskrit, and Persian. So he knew more than 12 languages, and he was able to address large masses because with the help of his linguistic skills he was able to make direct contact with the people. He was bold supporter of the freedom of the press. He brought out journals in different languages so that people may get aware of their rights and put forward their grievances in front of the government. So these were his roles, and his roles are many. Let's see. He was a political activist also. He condemned oppressive practices of Bengali zamindars where they were literally torturing riots. He demanded fixation of maximum rents. Then he also demanded abolition of taxes on tax-free lands because these practices were against the favor of the poor farmers or peasants. He called for a reduction of export duties on Indian goods so that because we know that the demand of Indian goods in European markets decreased a lot, and this weakened the Indian economy. So he called for reduction of export duties on Indian goods abroad and abolition of East India Company's trading rights because he was a man of great vision. He could see that these policies were not in the favor of the Indians. He demanded the Indianization of superior services, then separation of the executive from the judiciary, and demanded judicial equality and trial to be held by jury, judicial equality between the Indians and the Europeans. He was an internationalist. He supported the revolutions of Naples and Spanish America. So his efforts, his role towards the upliftment of the society can never be forgotten, and we must take inspiration from the great persons who took birth in this country. His associates were David Hare, then Alexander Duff, Demendranath Tagore. We will study about him in the later part of the video. Then P.K. Tagore, Chandrasekhar Dev, and Tara Chandra Chakrabarti. So these were his associates. Now friends, let's move to Demendranath Tagore. Here we studied that the death of Raja Ram Mohan Roy was a setback to the Brahma Samaj. Then who took charge of the Brahma Samaj? He was Demendranath Tagore, who took charge of the Brahma Samaj. Now who was he? He is the father of Nobel Prize winner, a great poet, Sri Rabindranath Tagore. So Devendranath Tagore is father of Rabindranath Tagore, who took charge of Brahma Samaj. Maharshi Devendranath Tagore was father of Rabindranath Tagore. He joined the Samaj in the year 1842. So Rabindranath Tagore joined the Samaj in the year 1842. He gave a new life to it by giving it a definite shape and definition. Earlier, he headed the Tattva Bodhini Sabha. So, this Sabha was also present in Bengal. It was founded in the year 1839 and it was devoted to the systematic study of India's past with a rational outlook and propagation of Roy's ideas. So, when he joined Brahma Samaj, so the informal association of the two gave Brahma Samaj a new strength, because we know that unity is strength. So a new strength, a new direction, a new vision was achieved by Brahma Samaj when Maharshi Demendranath Tagore joined it. He worked on two fronts. First was reformist movement within the Hinduism, of removing the social evils or removing the superstitions that were present in this religion. And next was it opposed the Christian missionaries for their criticism of Hinduism, because they were criticizing the Hinduism and they were making constant attempts to propagate their own religion and convert the citizens to their Christian religion. So the Brahma Samaj under the leadership of Maharshi Devendranath Tagore worked on two fronts. Then friends, the revitalized Samaj, it supported widow remarriage, then women's education, abolition of polygamy and improvement in riots condition. Who are riots? They are Indian farmers or peasants. So we can see that though the Brahma Samaj under the leadership was working in the direction of removing the social evils or revitalizing the Samaj by supporting these factors, it was also working on the front that it was trying to remove the Christian missionaries because they were indulged in the acts of conversion. Now friend, next was Keshav Chandra Sen, who followed the Brahma Samaj after Devendranath Tagore. Well, Keshav Chandra Sen, he joined the Samaj in the year 1858, and as soon as he joined the Samaj, he was made the Acharya by Devendranath Tagore. You can see the picture of Keshav Chandra Sen on your screens. Under his leadership, branches of the Samaj were opened outside Bengal, in the United Provinces, then Punjab, Bombay, Madras, and other towns. So he can be credited with the expansion of the Brahma Samaj and the movement. Now friends, the division of Brahma Samaj took place in his leadership, but why did it take place? What happened? Well, in the year 1865, he was dismissed from the office of Acharya. Now, why was he dismissed? Because Debendranath did not like some of Sen's ideas, such as inclusion of teachings from all religions and open support to intercaste marriages. So, he was quite a kind of modern reformer who supported these things like intercaste marriages which were not acceptable by the Samaj. So he was dismissed from the office of Acharya in the year 1865. In the year 1866, Keshav and his followers founded the Brahma Samaj of India. So, when he was dismissed from the post of Acharya, he, along with his followers, founded the Brahma Samaj of India, and Debendranath Tagore Samaj came to be known as the Adi Brahma Samaj. So, Brahma Samaj got divided into two parts, or we can say two sects, like Brahma Samaj of India, then Adi Brahma Samaj. In the year 1878, Keshav got his 13-year-old daughter married to the minor Hindu Maharaja of Kuch Behar with all the orthodox Hindu rituals. Acceptance of his act by the Samaj. The Samaj was working in the direction of removing these social evils like child marriage and orthodox Hindu rituals. And in the year 1878, the leader of Brahma Samaj of India was himself indulged in these activities. Let's see what happened later on. The followers of Keshav Chandra Sen were disgusted by his behavior and authoritarianism. He was facing the allegations of his authoritarianism, and after 1878, Sadharan Brahma Samaj was established. So, this Sadharan Brahma Samaj in place of Brahma Samaj of India was established, and it was started by Ananda Mohan Bose, Shib Chandra Deb, and Umesh Chandra Datta. And many centers were opened in Madras province. So, friends, so far we have seen what Brahma Samaj did, how it was established, who were the Acharyas of the Brahma Samaj, which was established by Raja Ram Mohan Roy, then followed by Debendranath Tagore, then Keshav Chandra Sen. How, because of some acts of Keshav Chandra Sen, the Brahma Samaj got separated into two parts: Brahma Samaj of India and Adi Brahma Samaj. So here on the screen you can see pictures of this social practice of the most disgusting system in the history of India and the history of mankind, the Sati Pratha. And now, so these social evils were required to be removed, and the reformers like them took charge in their hands. Here on screen you can see this child marriage system. What happened? The medical sciences at that time were not very much developed. When the children got married in very less age, and in case the husband died in later stages of life, the husband died because of reasons like the lack of medical facility or any reason, because at that time the development was not as such as in these modern times. So it was for this evil practice of child marriage gave rise to the evil practice of sati pratha, and then it turned out like a chain. One social evil, one bad social practice gave rise to the another, and it to another, and then the chain continued. So, what was the significance of the Brahma Samaj? Well, friends, so far we studied about the Brahma Samaj, what it did. Let's summarize the points. Well, it attacked directly superstitions and social levels that were present in the Hinduism. It incorporated the positive points of all the cultures. Then it worked for the improved status of the women. The condition of women were very demonizing the practice such as child marriage, then polygamy, the sati pratha, and lack of education, no right in the property, no right in the inheritance. These things were required to be removed, and the Brahma Samaj worked in order to improve the status of women by removing these social practices. They also attacked casteism and untouchability, though their success in this direction is quite less, but they also worked in this direction. But we can say that they did not have a lasting impact, maybe because the later leaders were not that effective as compared to the father of this Samaj. So, here, friends, the topic ends. If you like the video, please give it a big thumbs up. Comment in the comment section below. If you want me to make video on any Indian history topic, share the video with your friends.